Hey peeps, it's Sam the Man here, and today we're going to be going over 5 tips for the smaller, shitty genetics, natty, which I mean not enhanced in any form or fashion, lifter. So, if you are a smaller, scrawnier dude like me, and you have above average genetics, hence being scrawny and smaller like me, and you're not enhanced, meaning you don't do that there gear, and you want a few tips of the trade, a couple things to think about. Maybe, just maybe, you might learn something from this small educational style video I'm doing. So, let's jump right into it. Tip number one. Tip number one to put on some gains for the smaller, not enhanced, shitty genetic guy is don't let the plethora of knowledge confuse you. What do I mean by that? Okay, I've been lifting for 20 years. Just about 20 years, we'll say, give or take. Now, have I always lifted in those 20 years? I've taken some breaks here and there. But I do not, disclaimer, have a PhD in the sport. I do not have a master's in lifting science or anything like that. But what do I have is some actual real life experience in the gym and with the weights. Now, call that what you will. Say all of this is bullshit. It is what it is, okay? So, I started lifting when I was, I don't even know, 120 pounds. And I have been as heavy before as 170. And am I going to say that's all muscle? No. But in those 20 years, I would say I probably put on about 40 pounds, 30, let's just be real, 30 pounds of muscle, probably, realistically. And my strength when I started lifting was basically that of a feather. I could not hardly lift the bar without it crushing my chest. I could not put any weight on any type of machine, and I had I had a pathetic physique when I started lifting. Let's just put it like that. I was skin and bones. So, back to my first point is do not let the plethora of knowledge confuse you. So when I started lifting, not to sound like an old guy, because I'm not, but when I started lifting, there was basically just bro at the gym to tell you how to lift. So bro at the gym would, one day you would be squatting, let's just say for example, and you would come down to your knees, okay, like horizontal, and some guy would come up to you and say, "Hey, I used to bench press 405 back in my day. And I have a bad shoulder and bad knees, and I wouldn't squat that deep if I were you." So you would start doing it his way or whatever the hell, and then all of a sudden the next day you'd be in there, some other old fart would come up to you and say, "Oh, if you wanna really rep it, man, and get big, you got to go all the way down ass to grass." And so that was pretty much, the way it was. Everybody had a little tidbit they wanted to sneak in there and feel like they shared something with you. So, nowadays, there's YouTube, there's the internet, there's coaches, online coaching plans. But say for the sake of this, okay, you're just watching YouTube. You're watching YouTube shitness, as I like to call it. And you're out there and I got some caffeine in me. So you're out there and you're watching YouTube fitness and you're watching a science-based guy and he tells you to do slow eccentrics, time under tension, and then you're watching another guy do his reps really fast, and you're watching another guy ego lifting, and you're watching another guy say ego lifting is bad, and then you're watching another science guy that says 1 to 50 reps is good for muscle hypertrophy, and another guy that says, oh, the six reps to 12 is another one for good reps, and another guy says take the curls all the way down and let them hang for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and come up real slow, and then you watch another guy and he's ripping it, and then you can get really confused really, really fast on the way you should be working out to build some muscle. You can get really confused really fast. You can watch 10 videos in an hour and hear literally 50 different ways on how to skin lifting weights. So, what do I have to say about that? Don't let the plethora of knowledge confuse you. Don't let the abundance of information out there confuse you. Real life experience is where it is at. You get in there to the weights, to the gym, and you put in your own time and your own experience, and you find out what works for you. These are your muscles. These are your gains. You find out what works for you. And if it goes against every certain YouTube shitness, science, genius, PhD mofo out there, then so be it. So be it. Who cares? As long as you're seeing results, and as long as you are, that's it. As long as you're seeing the results you want to see, get in there and keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about what this guy says and that guy says, and watch the YouTube shitness more so for entertainment purposes. Maybe you pick up something here. Maybe you pick up something there. Maybe there's one guy that's full of shit, but he's got one little piece of information that helped you out, or one exercise variation that helped you out. Then good, great. Pick that up and use it. And if you try it out and it doesn't work, shit canner. Okay? Don't let all this knowledge, which is supposed to be helpful, throw you off, confuse you. Many, many times I would be going a certain style of lifting. I'm just going to call it a certain style of building muscle. And I would watch a video or hear a this or a that, and I would just screw up everything. It would just, I'd start doing it this way or that way or whatever, however. So, number one, do not let all the info throw you off. Do what works for you. Number two, maybe this contradicts number one, but number two is don't pigeonhole yourself to one style of lifting. These are all tools in the work shed. These are all tools in the toolbox. There's many ways to skin an animal, and do what works for you. But having said that, your body will adapt. Things will change. If you're doing a certain kind of squat or a certain kind of deadlift or a certain kind of machine or a certain kind of press, and you are just seeing massive gains and massive, you're going balls to the wall with it, and you're getting bigger, you're getting stronger, it's all clicking, it's all going. Good for you. Milk that as long as you can. Milk that style, milk that variation, milk it as long as you can. And then as soon as you see, you're starting to have a diminishing return, do not be afraid to switch it up. Oh, but so-and-so on a YouTube video says this is the way to do it all the time. Doesn't matter. If you are lifting heavy 5 reps, 5 by 5 as they used to call it, and it's working for you, milk it. Keep doing it. And then maybe, just maybe, there's a week or a month or something like that. You just it's hurting you. Joints aren't working. Shit's not working. Shit's not firing like it was. Don't be afraid to strip the weight down, change it up, go for a different rep variation, set variation. Don't be afraid to change your split up. Do what you got to do to keep them gains coming. Even if that means taking a few days off and letting everything heal back up, and then going back at it the way you were before, or changing it up a little bit. Don't be so pigeonholed to one split, one style, one this, one that, one rep scheme, one set scheme, one a science-based technique. Don't worry about it. Just do what you got to do to keep them gains coming. Keep them gains coming. Number 3 is your split. Now, workout split. What do I mean by that? Workout split. Back in the day, everybody did something that now they've branded as the bro split. And everybody talks shit about it. So what do I mean by that? I mean like chest on Monday, legs on Tuesday, back on Wednesday, arms on Thursday, shoulders on Friday. However you do it. Whatever. Okay? Now, it's very, very popular out there to hit things 2 times a week, 3 times a week. I watched a video the other day where I heard a guy say you should hit your chest 50 times a week. I don't know if he was kidding or really what the hell he was talking about, but I've heard people say you should hit your shoulders and biceps and triceps 5 times a week. And back in the day when I started, I heard people say never hit like biceps Monday and then biceps Tuesday, okay? They wouldn't even say hit your back Monday and your biceps Tuesday because you're using your back, your biceps for your back. Now it's like trendy or cool to hit things as many times a week as you can because maybe there was a study or a meta-analysis or whatever the hell that told somebody to say this. But here's the thing. Again, your own experience, okay? When it comes to your workout split, do what you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you can hit your chest on Monday, and you can turn around and hit it on Thursday or Friday, or Wednesday even, and you can see some gains from it, then by all means, do it. If you hit your chest Monday, and you can't even hit it until you're sore, you're achy, it's cramping, you're just not going to have a good chest workout again until the next Tuesday or Wednesday, and I mean 8 or 9 days later, then as long as, again, back to you're seeing gains out of it, you're seeing improvements out of it, your strength's going up, your size is going up, weight's going up, then who cares what a study says, or who cares what bro at the gym says, or bro on YouTube says? Who cares? As long as you're seeing the gains and you're seeing the improvements, you are in charge of your workout split, okay? You're in charge of it. Unless you're a professional bodybuilder or power lifter, this is a hobby. So you make up your split. If you want to do chest on Wednesday, arms on Tuesday, or chest on Monday, arms on Tuesday, back on Wednesday, chest on Thursday, hamstrings on Friday, Saturday, whatever the hell. But you're seeing improvements of it. You keep doing it. Now, with all of this, like I said, you have to be smart enough and aware enough to learn that if a split or if a routine you're doing isn't working, or you're seeing diminishing returns on it, you're going back, you're going up the hill, but you're going back down, you have to be smart enough to adjust accordingly, okay? You can't just keep, you can, but for the sake of this conversation, you can't just keep doing something just because you like it, okay? If you're benching 5 days a week and you're tearing your shoulder up, okay, probably not the best idea to keep benching 5 times a week, all right? So, again, smaller, natural guys, scrawnier guys with shitty genetics. What do I suggest? bro split, bro split. Hit each body part one time a week, give it its due diligence, and you fry, zap, whatever you want to call it, that muscle one time. And if you takes a week or so to recover, then so be it. So be it. Okay, where are we at? Tip number 4. Now, again, this is for the smaller, scrawnier, natty guys. Okay? Tip number 4, I believe we're at, is get the food in. Well, how many calories? Well, what should I eat? Well, should I do keto? Well, should I eat this? Well, should I not eat processed food? Again, barring you don't have any kind of condition or gastrointestinal autoimmune disease, or you're not allergic to, obviously, if you're allergic to something, be smart about it. But if let me just put it like this, okay? Eat. You're trying to get muscle. You're trying to get jacked. You're trying to get strength, okay? Eat. Find out a roundabout number of how many calories you've been eating, and then try to double it. If you're staying scrawny and you're like, man, I can't seem to get stronger or bigger, well, then you need to eat more, okay? This is one thing that does hold true, and a lot of people have said this, is you can go to the gym 6 days a week, 3 times a day, and if you're not eating the right food, that working out is all just wasted. It's all just time you're wasting and flushing right down the toilet. So, you scrawnier, natty, tiny little guys like me, grouping myself in there, get that food shoved down your neck. Sounds a little sus, don't it? But you get what I'm saying. Get the food in you. Get the calories in you. And if you see you're starting to plateau, okay, raise it. Raise it. Well, how many calories? Well, what exactly? What do you mean by that? I eat so much. You probably are not eating as much as you think you are. If you're at a plateau and you're not seeming to gain muscle, gain weight, get the size up there, you're probably not eating as much as you think you should be. Wait, let me see if I said that right. You're probably not eating as much as you think you are. So start tracking that shit and start bumping that shit up, because it's really the only way you're gonna. It will make a dramatic difference. I don't care about your split. I don't care about your this, your that. It is all shit if you are not getting the food in you. Okay? Sometimes when you are smaller, sometimes you gotta eat like shit to get big, okay? Back in the day, right, there was Rich Piana, gotta eat big to get big. There is some truth to that. And sometimes you gotta eat like shit to get big. All right? Not a popular thing to say, but old Sam is coming in to save the day. So I'm gonna tell you what you gotta hear to do this all right. Okay, the 5th and final tip for this video, because I could go on all day. But the 5th and final tip is to tie it all together. Have friggin' fun with it. All right? Again, this is a hobby. Lifting the weights, getting the sick pump, getting the food in. This is fun. This is your sport, if you will. This is, like me, I've never been really a sport kind of basketball kind of guy, but this is my thing. So you have to have fun with it. If you hate it, and you hate your split, and you hate your style of training, and you're not making progress, and you don't like it, you have to have fun with it to turn around and keep going back and doing it. And the better you get at something, the more fun you're going to have with it. If you suck at something, you're not going to like it, and you're not going to want to keep doing it. So this is all basic kind of common sense shit I'm saying here. But, sometimes you need somebody to actually say it and hear it to do it, okay? So, get the food in you. Get them calories up. It's okay if you get a little chunky. Get a workout split that works for you. Don't be afraid to change it all up if you need to a little bit here and there. I wouldn't be changing it every week, but if you got to, you got to. That's up to you. Be smart about it when you need to adjust it. Find the style of training that works for you and your joints and your body. We're all a little bit different. And you got to have freaking fun with it. You got to enjoy it so you keep going back and doing it. So I've made this long enough. It's basic ass shit I'm saying here. Basic ass shit. But, it's worked for me. And you might be looking at this thinking, oh, what the hell are you talking about? You're some scrawny ass little dude. You don't look like you know what you're talking about. I like to watch some science-based study, PhD. Then go watch that, okay? If you clicked on this, then you're watching it, okay? So thanks for the view. That's it for today. Stay jacked, stay swole, and stay tuned for the next episode.